Hello. So, I just wanted to say something um, before it's too late because I just listened to the song It's the Final Countdown. So that sounds great. Lisa Renee told me that my connection to God cannot be stolen. I called her out on her shit, meaning that I can see that she's an entity and that she is not pure God consciousness. And told her she better not be misleading starseeds. Yesterday, I thought about asking her for help, but I did not. For instance, the 12D shield does prevent from tapping into higher dimensions because it's only 12 dimensional, and there's more. The lady that helped me, Ariadne Avalon, is part of the ES community clan and usurped my ability to heal. I sought her out for healing, and I told her how miserable I was and what was going on, and she kept telling me wrong information. She told me to contact Lisa against my intuition, which I then, out of pure desperation, did. But so she is also possessed by the entity of ES, because that happens a lot in kind of group communities where there's a guru or a leader. There is this overarching entity that kind of holds the group together, and that's why I was originally never a fan of being part of any spiritual groups, because there's always like a set of things to follow or things like that. But true connection to source, sometimes I had the same intuitions as Lisa, so it's not all off. Like, there's a lot of truth in what she's doing and what she's saying. But also, I don't think that she has very pure intentions. Lisa gaslighted me. She already stole the holographic disc from me and my master builder. I know that because stupidly enough, I asked her for help, and I said to her, hey, my holographic disc was stolen last night because I could feel it. And I said to her, well, I'm curious as to where it went, because that needs to be protected. That is sacred knowledge. I intuitively did not want to ask Lisa for help, but was so desperate and succumbed. She gave me guidance and support completely non-aligned with my God source of what felt right. So I take responsibility for not listening. I was so desperate, I needed some help. But therefore, she was not connected to true God source. Like, she told me to get talk therapy. She kind of moved me out of the container of ES. I think that she actually sees me as a threat. I know that most people watching this will not believe that, because of course not, but truth resonance vibrates and it gives you goosebumps. She was therefore not connected to the true source. The true source can only be embodied with a pure heart. So she must steal that too. In order to do that, she must extract a trauma from someone, for instance me. Exactly what Ariadne Avalon did. The reason, and Ariadne Avalon, I know that now, I didn't realize that until today, that we've had past lives together. And she actually owes me karmic debt, because I think she killed me a bunch of times. And she killed me because she was envious of certain things that I had. And this time around, instead of repaying the karmic debt, she actually took those things. And that is interesting, because I did a video a few days ago about the end of the karmic justice system, and that's what it feels like. It feels like a lot of people around me are in my life right now, and because I am altered, like I am split, and Ariadne Avalon stole that energy from me, so I can't integrate it and defend myself. yeah, so I can't integrate things, but a lot of people in my life were that really that I know owe me karmic debt are actually doing the opposite right now. They are taking the things that they wanted or saw as a threat or were envious of in past lives because they just can't. They are just ripping them out. The reason why I feel like everyone is against me is because most people are. They serve entities, demons, false gods, and gurus. I knew that there was no way out of the situation, but was stopped from acting on exiting. I was told all the time that I survived my accident almost 2 years ago because God had saved me. That is not the truth. I almost died, and then my mother whispered in my ear, "Stay with us." So she usurped a part of my heart at that point. I have been programmed to be destructed because my consciousness is not wanted here. So it is destroyed forever. They stole my way home here in the psych ward relatively early when they closed down the entire psych ward because one corona case. And I knew intuitively that that would release something from my energy field. I know that sounds like I'm full of myself and like I'm so important and like a narcissist and all these kinds of things. And, but anyways, da, da, da. They stole my way home. Yeah, so I just said that in the psych ward. Lisa Renee is a false prophet. Never follow gurus. Her law of one excludes true authentic God consciousness and is thus misleading. If you don't have to believe me, that's up to you. You have to use your own discernment, and if you want to follow her and believe in the good in people, that's fine. Ariadne Avalon has worked for Lisa I think to steal the true Christ from me. And of course, nobody will believe me because I'm in a psych ward and I know crazy people sometimes believe crazy shit. I've heard that before, that when you have some kind of psychological disorder, you all of a sudden believe to be someone like, I don't know, some crazy person or something. But again, the truth is the vibration and it resonates as goosebumps. Now, ironically, the true God consciousness is eliminated and Lisa fucking Renee will kill me. I told her too much about my traumas, thinking she would help me. She knows that I was raped and she knows that I'm split. She knows like all of these things. And that's happened with me with other people too. Instead, she's contributing to my demise. She could have also prevented my accident because I contacted her before. And if she would have been connected to True Source, she could have tapped into what is going on with me and she could have assisted me, but she didn't. And it sounds like I'm looking for someone to blame. That's not. I thought a lot about who's at fault and what happened and yeah, all those things. But yes. God is supposed to help all, but when God needs help, she is backstabbed. Ariadne Avalon also stole my soul of feminine. She claimed that truth. She also knew that I was victimized and that she kept saying like, "Oh, why do you like being a victim so much?" And I'm like, I don't. I hate it. It's horrible. But I couldn't get back to the creator state because people were taking parts of me. And I was powerless. And I don't know. That was weird. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I just listened to the final countdown. That's not a good sign because everything around us is kind of a sign of what's going on inside. Today I realized that I might have now an altar because I'm I have a split and I can't integrate them, and I don't know what is flowing into me on the other side. So it could be that a lot of evil and karmic shit that other people have put on me is put in there, which is ridiculous. Yeah, so the karmic justice system has been taken out, so all of this can happen just like that. Lisa seems to have no conscience. I hope she is not going to dump her ugly self into me. Perhaps I need to stay awake all night, and I shouldn't have asked people that are not at the same level of development. That sounds weird, but I mean, I can explain that. In order to deal with consciousness problems that are very sophisticated and crazy, I can't ask someone that has no clue about it. That's just like asking someone to build a house for me that doesn't know how to do it. And the thing is, I could have helped myself, but my trauma was kind of, it's like tree rings, like wrapped around me in a way where I could only see whatever is going on in this very present moment. I couldn't see beyond, and I couldn't see what I could do to prevent this. So that, I think, is intentional. I remember there was this little girl in Vancouver a couple of years ago before I left Vancouver, unfortunately. And she saw me and she looked at me and she's like, wow, I haven't seen you in a long time. And I hadn't met this girl ever in my life before. So she recognized me at a soul level. And I was really desperate that day to find a place to sleep because I was so paranoid and so scared. And her father said to me, no, he had to protect his family, so I couldn't stay there. And I understand that, but at the same time, like, his little girl saw who I was, but yeah, anyways. Yeah, so it's like one big ultimate sacrifice for the false gods and negative aliens. That's what's happening to me. I don't know how much longer I have with the truth, so I need to write as much as I can. This is one big act of betrayal against the true organic God consciousness. And she kept telling me that I needed to remove entities and archons and all that kind of stuff from me, but I think she had more in her than I did. I asked her how I could get off this descending spiral. She said to process my emotions. And then I mentioned to her that I had a fracture in my energy field, and the day after, I put my hand on my heart and said, my body belongs to me. And I visualized healing the fracture, and ironically, it was the same day that the vaccination mandate was voted against in Germany. And months ago, I was thinking like, oh God, if they're gonna force me to get vaccinated, that feels like being raped. So that kind of I kind of had this feeling. So anyways, the next day I talked to Ariadne and I asked her how she was doing, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm processing something really intense. And I'm like, oh, is it sexual trauma? And she was just like, yeah. And I just said to her, that's mine. I just knew that. She was the one who told me to trust my knowingness. And anyways, so that's great. Like, she is processing my rape trauma, so I can't get off the descending spiral, even though I told her how desperate I was. This is what is happening. And yeah, she sensed the fracture in me, apparently. And I think I mentioned these things in another video already, but yeah, she was processing intensely uncomfortable trauma. I asked her if it was sexual trauma. She said yes. I knew that it was mine. She even told me she was integrating a fracture. I called her on it. She had a, but she said she had a different perspective, which I responded today, and I told her knowingness is different than a perspective. A perspective is something that is clouded by something. Knowingness is knowing. Yeah, so she was the one who told me to trust my fucking knowingness, and then she fucking takes my energy. With this, I told her I can never repossess my own body because you can only process, if you process it, then you can repossess your body. But she took that from me. So now more things can be ripped from me. She just said to me when I told her that, if you think I am stealing your energy, then it's best if we part ways. That's what people seem to do when I say that, when I know that a part of me went to them. And I wasn't even mean to her. I just said I'm curious as to how you are processing this now. I didn't say you're a fucking bitch. I didn't say that. I said it in a nice but clear and confident way. And this is what happens with many people around me. Like other people are ripping out my traumas and integrating them, and I can't sense myself, and that is not normal. There's something really weird happening here. And then afterwards, when I call them out on it, because I can feel and I dream about it at night that there's not much of my soul left, they usually part ways with me. Then all of a sudden I'm too exhausting, and then they say, you are taking up too much of my energy. And I'm like, oh, okay. You just took a piece of my life energy, of my soul, and I'm taking up too much of your energy. Okay. So this is, in my opinion, an attack against God authentic consciousness. There's all this hoopla hoop right now that we're moving into a higher timeline. I think that's fake because with unity consciousness, it just doesn't feel right. Like it feels fake to me. It feels like the true God consciousness is going to be left out of this timeline. So that meaning that it's actually inauthentic, and it's inauthentic architecture and probably demonic. But most people will not be able to see that. But I'm recording this, and I don't even know if anyone is ever going to watch this, care, or believe me. I don't know. And it's interesting because I've prayed to God to help me, and my soul told me to exit. Yeah, anyways, I said that multiple times. It will get worse. And all those vampires that consoled me in the last 2 years stole energy, and I didn't know. I didn't see it. I had no idea. And now my consciousness exists in other people. So that is a falsification of the law of one. The law of one can be felt in the heart. Usually we can feel that when we hurt someone, we hurt ourselves, things like that. I used to have that ability. For some reason that's gone right now. Yeah, so the irony. So to make God homeless or part of a social services system, I cannot accept that's fucked up, and the ultimate mockery and humiliation. It is the act of revenge of the false angelics and those that have difficult karmas to make up for what they have done or have to struggle with. If the karmic system here is going to end, then people that will do asshole things will still get a good life. And people that do good things and don't have a lot of karmic debt will get shitty lives. And I've had a shitty life, and I didn't have karmic debt, which doesn't mean that I don't do good things in the world. But anyways, But I think that I have an altar, and like I said before, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I could turn into a complete fucking asshole, and then I don't know what I'm going to do, because that sucks. Because if everything good is taken out of you, that's, I don't know, you're open for possession, you're open for all bunch of things, right? And if they take your heart, then you can't process anything. I don't know. That sounds like a nightmare. I think many people that have done bad stuff in the past are mad that they have to take responsibility for it. I have a bunch of friends in my life like that. All those people would be unsafe or angry with me because I don't have any karma. But instead of doing good things to alleviate karma, they seem to be killing parts of me again and stealing me my abilities to make peace with my situation. In a wheelchair, like, I can't integrate that. It's not working. Like one friend, she stole my joy and love for what I am doing. Whatever people want, it seems to fly right out of me. So that's interesting. That's like not sourcing it. It's like, it's twisted. This guy that I met here before, who I know from a organic supermarket, I remember we had made plans to hang out, and I didn't want him in my house, I decided. Anyways, he asked me today if I wanted to play games with him, and I was just like, yeah, maybe, but in retrospect, I don't know. I don't want to fucking play any games. It's stupid. That usually means that there's a part of me that's like, it's triggering something, and then it releases something, and I don't know. Yeah, I would like to manifest the funds for assisted death support, because I can't live like as an hustler like this. And they have intentionally put me in a room by myself so I can do all of these things. Probably they know how I operate. I have no power to switch in my other altar. Today I was thinking, oh, maybe I should smoke some marijuana, because that helped me in the past connect my fractures. But I know that if I do that now, that probably connects me with a whole bunch of evil. And I don't really have evil in me. But my friend Sandra took that part away from me, so great. God, I'm so scared. So God, I believe myself to be an incarnation of God. An incarnation. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I come straight from source. God is completely at the mercy of the medical system, and they have slowly eroded God's will. They have eroded my will. Like, I used to hold the divine plan, but anyways, first they have programmed me to jump off a roof. I would never do that, and I felt afterwards that another person had done it. I wish I could staple these parts to myself, the ones that are just being taken out of me, so that I will never lose them. I always felt how much God felt for others suffering. I would cry for the world and those suffering within it, as God would cry for his children. I love that part of me, but since there is nothing I can do about this fuckery, I will also lose that part, and whoever will receive it will likely get my God connection. Since I have been thinking about my niece Emma today, and she is one of the only people I still love, it is probably programmed that she's gonna get that part. I don't know. They stimulated my thinking to get out of. They suggested that I could get out of here tomorrow, but I don't know. Yeah, so Emma, I think I've leaked a lot of my creative energy into her without knowing because I was very creative with her, and um, she a little while ago drew a piece of my heart, and that scared the shit out of me because I feel like I'm at the mercy of other people's creativity. Um, I don't think she knows what she's doing though, and that she's actually killing me. There was a moment where I had hoped that she would see the truth, so I don't know. She might be transferred that. And my friend Zena received, I'm pretty sure, received my heart compass. Direction, sensing direction. It is tragic to see what is happening to myself. Very sad, very tragic, but I can't cry. I wish I could cry about it. Uh, I wish I could hold on to my parts. I hate my parents. Oh God. I always had very healthy sensations towards people. That was God navigating the way. That's gone. My friend Sandra took a lot of that from me. I had um, I had a vision of her that she had demonics attached to her. I didn't listen to it because again I was so desperate for someone to listen to me and to help that I overrode my own intuition. Um, and I heard it in her voice that her empathy was kind of a little bit fake. Um, I know that the reason I survived this accident was only so that they could suck me dry, those fuckers. And soon there will be no will to live, which is required to be an organic human being. And the people and an organic human being feels feelings, and I don't have those anymore. And the people here are they're so demonic. Like, they like my pure energy so that they can be more human. Christ was always about being an embodied human. I feel like Ariadne robbed me of a lot of that. Probably by accusing these people, I'm absorbing some of their energy because I'm doing bad something. I don't know. Who knows? God has access to all knowing, or has access to, yeah, has access. That drove my mother crazy. She placed the my mother, I think I mentioned that in another video, she placed the figurine that that the pastor gave them on an after my accident, which is the mother that's holding up her child, on this altar that my mom has created for Emma. People might think, yeah, so what? If I was connected to my soul and my power, I could fend that off. That would not harm me, but yes. That's enough for now.